Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. This is episode 321, as well as day 321 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame, and also to run two big races within this time frame. One of those races being a 50K ultra marathon trail race. That was the Yankee Springs 50K trail race out in Middleville, Michigan on June 5th. That was day 156 of my journey, and I was able to finish that 31-mile race within 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds. Now, the next race that came up within this yearly time frame was the Detroit Free Press Marathon. I ran that marathon on day 290 and was shooting for a sub 4-hour time within that 26.2 mile race, and was able to finish that race within 3 hours, 57 minutes, and 28 seconds. So I was able just to get to that sub 4-hour time, which I was really excited and stoked about. Both of those races were personal records for me. Never ran a 50K before, so that was a personal record, and I never ran an official marathon before, but the first one I ran that was unofficially timed by myself, with my buddy Joe in 2020, I ran within 5 hours and 22 minutes, so this time I shaved off over an hour in 22 minutes, so I was really excited about that. So those were both PRs for me this year, and as you can tell, we are on day 321, so clearly I was able to keep the streak alive after both of those big races. But since we are here on day 321, let's break down the miles for the day, week, month, and year. So for the day today, this is the third day in the week. It is a Wednesday. It's also the third day in a row that I have pumped out a 7-mile run. So put in 7 miles yet again today. That put me at 21.2 miles for the week, which put me at 122.9 miles for the month, which put me at 1,482.3 miles for the year. So we are 17.7 miles away from this yearly goal of 1,500 miles. Really excited, really stoked that we're right here on the cusp. We'll probably be crossing over it within the next 2 days, honestly. So really looking forward to that. Or actually probably 3 days. I'll probably do it crossover on the third day on Saturday. I think tomorrow I may put in another 7, and Friday I'm thinking about trying to take it easy that day. Put in a decent mile Saturday, and then maybe finish it off strong on Sunday, or vice versa. Do 7 and 7 today, do 7 Friday, or do 7 tomorrow, 7 Friday, big one Saturday, and then do maybe a small one on Sunday. I don't know, but that's just kind of the estimation of the next few days. But let's focus in on these monthly miles of 122.9. And I want to do that because every single month I challenge myself to run a 100-mile challenge. I do it in honor of a charity in which I donate money to, as well as I start a coinciding fundraiser to raise money for, as well as try to raise awareness for throughout these months. So for the first 10 months, was able to raise money for 10 great charities. Now we're here within the 11th month, the month of November, and we're raising money for the cause Movember. If you'd like to donate to this cause, or find out a little bit more about this cause, or maybe even share the donation page for this cause, you can find the link to do so for all three on the Defining Discipline Instagram story or the Defining Discipline Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram or Facebook story. Within those stories, it'll pop up saying the November's 100-mile challenge in honor of Movember. You click on that link, it'll open up the actual page where you're able to make your donations, learn more about the fundraiser, as well as click that share button to try to raise awareness for this fundraiser throughout this month. Like I said, when you click on that page, that is where you're able to make your donations and all that. I do want to keep in mind for you guys I do want you guys to keep in mind, I'm sorry about that, jumbling those words there. I do want you guys to keep in mind that all donations that do get made to this cause and this fundraiser go directly to this fundraiser and this cause. Facebook is not taking any portion, any percentage of your donations. If you donate $20, all $20 is going to this cause. So keep that in mind when making your donations. And like I said, click that share button and just click on the page and learn a little bit more about it. We're trying to raise awareness for Movember, and the best way to do that is to learn about it. Another quick thing about Movember, you may have been noticing I have been rocking the mustache. That is one of the big takeaways from Movember, is to rock the mustache in honor of Movember, to raise awareness for men's mental health as well as physical health, going to get getting men to go get checked up on a lot of things. So that's kind of the basis of it. But if you'd like to learn more about it, again, like I said, click on the link. It'll open up the page where you can learn more as well as make your donations and share the page as well. Sorry for that little brain fart. Now let's get into today's actual episode, but as always, right before we do so, we are going to go over today's word of the day for November 17th, and it is negotiate. Negotiate means to deal with or bring about through discussion or compromise. It also means for people and things in motion to get through, around, or over successfully. That is a good word of the day for today. So we screenshotted it. Now we're going to go into today's actual episode. Today's episode for day 321. Today's theme for today's episode is numb. And it is for a couple of reasons, numb. One, getting out there today on today's run. Got home from work, looked at the weather, or even leaving work and realized how nice it was. It was right, low 60s. Leaving work, was wearing a long sleeve shirt, but felt really nice out. So as soon as I got home, went in the basement, got all the gear to get ready to go outside. And as I was getting ready to step outside, it was drizzling and raining. And was going to just wear a t-shirt and say, it's a nice day. If I get wet, I get wet. I'll be warm enough to make it through. Thank God I didn't. Thank God I went back downstairs and did get a rain jacket, but didn't wear gloves and didn't, dress warmer. Just got a slight jacket just to keep the water off of me. And got out there, and not even a quarter mile in, I was running this way, and the wind was going this way, and it was just, as I'm starting, I'm just like, all right, this is not going to be fun. And I'm thinking in my head, maybe I should turn around and get more clothes. And I said, no, already started the watches. Let's just keep going. Running into the wind was the worst part. Thankfully, for only, roughly half of it, I was running into the wind. And that was more on the second half. Like I said, it started me running into the wind, but then I quickly turned the corners and started heading the other direction, back that way. So I was kind of running with the wind. It wasn't as cold, wasn't as bad. But again, to get into today's actual episode and theme for today, it is numb. Heading back into the wind, running back this half, 3.5 miles back this way into the wind. It definitely caught up. Not wearing gloves, wind blowing into me. Even though it was like I said, low 60s, still very, very unbearable. My hands were absolutely freezing. Like I said, they became numb. That's why we titled this episode Numb. But literally my whole left hand, I could barely even make a fist. I could barely move it, could barely lift it to look at my watch. I was actually a little concerned being out there. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't that cold, but the wind truly, truly caught up to me and got to me. So, wanted to talk about that aspect about being numb, but also kind of wanted to, bring it around to the idea, when I'm out there and I'm running and I kind of zone out. I kind of go numb in general when I'm in the groove, when I'm out there running. I have a lot of different um, things going on in my brain all at once throughout the day. I'm definitely feeling very, very overwhelmed. And when I get out there and I run and I get in the zone and just, even slow runs, fast runs, whatever the case is, just getting out there and running is kind of my way to numb myself, to kind of just deprive myself of all other feelings. Even when I'm out there a lot of the times, my brain will kind of work and think of other things. It's not thinking, run, 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 run. I am thinking of, how can I solve this problem that has nothing to do with running? Or my brain's still kind of everywhere, but it's kind of narrowed down and it kind of gets, like I said, I'm just numb almost. I'm thinking of things, but at the same time, they're not, really emotionally affecting me as much as they would if I wasn't running. If I was just sitting here anxiously thinking about them. When I'm running, it really helps me get into that zone and to really kind of just analyze everything and figure everything out. And again, it just even gets me into the zone sometimes where I can just forget about things and just focus in on my pace and focus in on how I'm feeling and focus in on other things in my life instead of other ones that are kind of weighing on me too much, too heavily. It helps me escape kind of those, be numb to those for a little bit, and to kind of focus on some easier problems maybe that I can tackle sooner instead of the ones that are just kind of weighing me down because don't even know how to even start. So, and again, on that aspect of things kind of being overwhelming and things kind of weighing you down, that can even make you feel numb, truly. If you have a problem that is so big that, again, you don't even know possibly where to even start to try to solve it, that is a very, numbing feeling. It is, makes you feel weak, it makes you feel hopeless, and sometimes that is a good way to describe feeling numb, hopeless, and loss of actual feeling, and don't know, like I said, just lost, not really knowing where to go, where to start. But it's within those moments of feeling numb, of not knowing where to start. It's within actually just starting. I've been in many situations, and usually the hardest thing to do is to start. But the most necessary thing to do, and the way to really start solving these problems, is just to start. Even if you start this way and eventually it completely transforms into something different, the main idea is to start putting in the work. The example could be even me with this running and all of this. When I started, I told myself I wanted to run a marathon. I told myself I wanted to, be able to run a full marathon at a good pace, saying it's not that hard. And I remember getting out there, barely making it at a mile, and thinking, wow, this is a lot harder than I thought. And instead of me being discouraged by that, I kind of, again, became numb to that feeling of, wow, this is really hard. And I realized that it's going to take day in, day out working on that. Just continuously putting in that work, being numb to the fact that I'm possibly nowhere close to where I really want to be. And the only way to get closer or to get there is to truly work on that. And no matter how numbing it may be while working on it, or how numbing it may be not wanting to even start it, the main thing is to, one, start it and to keep pushing, because you're eventually going to get to where you're going. I truly believe that. As someone who, again, couldn't barely run a mile, especially a mile and a half, to now running a marathon, to running a 31-mile 50K, looking forward to running a 50-mile race, and running every single day out of the year this year, I can definitely tell you, no matter how numbing a feeling may be that is truly holding you back, you can overcome it. And again, on the flip side, one of the best ways to overcome it is while you're pushing against it is to become numb yourself at the feelings of stepping back, or the feelings of failure, or the feelings of not being good enough or not fast enough, whatever the case is. Become numb to those feelings and just worry about putting in that work. That is something that I've truly have been doing. Especially this past month, putting in these 50 miles, my pace has gone down. It has been real slow. I'm not worried about being slow. I'm not worried about all of that. I'm worried about just getting these miles and focusing on what I can attack. And I become numb to all the outside things that are trying to really influence and affect that. And that is another good kind of thing to talk about, is to truly try to become numb to the outside influences. There's so many things that are going to try to hold you back. They're going to try to slow you down. I couldn't tell you how many people told me it's impossible to run 365 days in a row. I couldn't tell you how many people told me, just don't do it. You're going to hurt yourself. I couldn't tell you how many people told me, you're running a 50K. Why would you ever do that? Are you dumb? Like, I've had so many negative things and negative, I can't even think right now. I've had so many people tell me negative things that were really trying to kind of discourage me from even attempting things. And again, I had to be numb to all of these people's opinions and all of these things, and just really focus on what I know I can do, and focus on putting in that work, starting again. Me doing this, it wasn't just going out there one day and running all these miles and saying, oh, it's done. This is a every single day battle. This is me getting up every day, making sure I put in at least 1.5 miles every day, which I've been doing. And this month I've been doing plenty of that. I don't think I've done anything less than a 5K, but I think I've been averaging right around 8 miles, I think, 7-8 miles this month every day, even though a couple days I have done less, but there's been days I did 18 this month. And again, I don't want to go off on a tangent about it, but the main thing is I just really, it's an everyday battle. It's getting out there every day, not listening to the noise or the people telling you it's not possible, becoming numb to all of those things that are trying to really hold you back, and to really focus in on working on yourself and getting to where you want to go. That is kind of today's episode, on top of, again, bigger problems, outside problems possibly could make you numb, as well as me running today in the cold, wet weather and the wind blowing on my hand and actually making my hand numb. That's kind of what gave me the idea to talk about numb today in the theme. But I did want to touch on the other aspects of being numb, because, again, I think it's very true and very helpful to really be numb to the outside forces that are telling you that it can't be done, and the outside forces that are truly just holding you back and trying to hold you back. Be numb to those, and when numbing moments happen where you don't know how to start or where to start, knowing that just starting is what's going to help you truly overcome those moments. So for your daily discipline today, day 321, it is, again, to be numb to all those outside negative influences that are trying to really discourage you from doing whatever it is you're doing. Unless you're doing something very bad that you shouldn't be doing. If it's just something that people, if it's good for you and good for everybody, and something that people just want to try to slow you down on, don't let them do that. Don't let them discourage you. Become numb to all that outside noise that's kind of really reflecting and trying to penetrate to kind of get you to slow down or to stop. So think about that. That is your daily discipline for the day. Other than that, thank you guys so much for following along and listening to our 321 episodes now officially in the books. This is the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. If you guys can, please give the podcast a like, a subscribe, a follow, a share on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platform you've been found along and listening on. Other than that, like I said, thank you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 322. And until then, make sure you guys stay disciplined, get your donations in, click that share button on the donation page, as well as the Defining Discipline page. Let's spread the word, spread the news, and stay disciplined, guys. And until tomorrow, I will see you then. Stay disciplined and peace out.